Greg's back from the Concord Co-op, always getting us up on a Friday morning. How are you? Where's the green?
The green.
You're supposed to be.
No, not till Sunday. I know.
The blue was the easy reach in the closet this morning.
Blue is blue is the new green. Is that it?
I considered green this morning too, and then it didn't happen. I'm blue.
Well, okay, forget it.
Sort of green.
Sage. Yeah, okay.
Sage.
I thought we got rid of you. Why are you still
No.
Well, no, I'm going to be here all day.
I know.
Did you guys
here? All
know
right,
that?
all Feltus all morning.
Coming up at 9 o'clock, Dan Feltus with the news.
There you go. Wow, I love it. So what are we doing?
Today, we're talking about the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. We have the executive director here today, Ellen Groh. And
Ellen is here.
Yep.
Good morning.
Morning, Ellen. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Living the dream. Another day in paradise.
And I'm going to briefly chat about two fundraisers for the coalition, and then what's the purpose of these fundraisers. And Senator Dan Feltus is the Honorary Chair of SouperFest, so I'll just go right into SouperFest if that's okay.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Make it a nonpartisan issue, bipartisan. We're looking for bipartisan support.
Soup is always bipartisan.
There you go.
Yeah, of course it is.
So
people are constantly reaching across the aisle for the
That's
soup.
right.
For the soup.
For the soup.
Across, yeah.
Good. Pretty good, huh?
SouperFest will be held March 30th at Runlet Middle School.
Boy, that's coming up quick.
It is.
It's coming up quick. And all the information about SouperFest is on our the website for the coalition, concordhomeless.org. SouperFest is, we have approximately 30 local soup chefs. 7 of them are local restaurants. So there's a great variety of soups. There's all types of desserts, and there's all types of breads. There's FunFest. So FunFest begins at 2 o'clock. And that's the gymnasium is all set up for kids of all, activities, even kids of age 5. There's things for them to do.
So bring the family.
Bring the family.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
It's $5 to get in. It's a suggested donation for kids and $10 for adults. And it gets you into to FunFest and SouperFest. So SouperFest begins at 4 and ends at, the food portion ends at 6:30. But SouperFest is a big fundraiser for the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. Traditionally, it's been the largest fundraiser that we have. And it generally raises over $50,000.
Wow.
There's over 150 volunteers that participate every year. So, in addition to the sponsorship and individuals attending, the community comes out big to support this event. And this year, Senator Dan Feltus is the honorary chair of the event, and that's what gets him at the seat at the table this morning.
Figures free soup, and you're there.
You know what?
Not about free. It's about the homeless. It's about let's
I
stay
encourage
on
everybody,
point.
March 30th, Runlet Middle School. The second event I'd like to briefly talk about is the coalition this year is starting a new fundraiser, a talent show. And the talent show, the deadline to submit, if you have talent or your friends have talent, the deadline to submit is April 1st. So that's coming right up.
Okay, wow.
And again, all the information is on the website about the talent show, the rules. And
Now, have you gotten some entries already?
Oh yes, they're
That's
starting
what I
to really roll in
Because
now.
when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, you were encouraging people to start lining
Well,
up.
it was just started coming up.
Right,
Now that
right.
we have a deadline, it's getting
Yeah,
serious.
they're starting to come in, and that should be a very exciting venue for the community. It will be at the new Bank of New Hampshire stage on Main Street. I think it will be a sold out event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've passed the ability to sponsor SouperFest. So if anyone out there wants to sponsor one of these events, I would encourage them to sponsor the talent show.
Absolutely.
Sponsorship starts at $250. And you get a ticket to the event. And I think it's going to be a sold-out show. So if you are sponsoring starting at $250, you can get into the event anyway. So, again, I would encourage individuals to go to the website. And right now, that event will be October 5th.
Right.
But it's the talent part that we're screening now. So I really encourage individuals to, that have talent or have friends that have talent to get their apply to be in the show itself. And,
right, because this isn't going to be a community auditions kind of thing where there will be. I mean, this is going to be all good talent, all good area talent.
Yeah, I've taken a peek at some of the submissions, and it's very, very interesting thus far. And there's going to be auditions at Area 23 in Litherman's this summer. So if they make the first screening, then they go for an audition and. So
Then
all
play
of
in
that
front of a crowd and kind of go through the process.
Right, and so the real purpose today is, yes, if you please attend SouperFest, and the talent show and sponsor these events. But what's the reason behind all this? Why does the coalition host these two events? Why do they need the funds? What are they all about? And so
you really love this, don't you, Greg? Because I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. And when you talk about these, you get very animated.
Well, they're getting
I like
behind
to
a
see
great
that.
cause. Yeah.
And those who are just listening don't see like I do. I see Greg light up, and you're talking about this. You're very excited about it. That tells me you have a passion, and you, honest to God, believe in this.
Oh, absolutely.
And that comes across when I sit here and I'm just smiling watching you get into this going, and the talent show and the soup, and you're just like a little kid. Explain this. You're so excited, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and because as Dan and Ellen go through the reasons behind it, you'll know why this is the part that I can do. I can. And Ellen's there every day, working with those that are experiencing homelessness in our community, trying to solve the problem. So, I'm just behind the scenes trying to help them raise the funds that they need to accomplish their mission. And
now you said SouperFest, irrespective of the talent show, this is a new event. We're not sure. Money coming in. Let's talk about SouperFest. You said 50,000.
Yes,
Ellen, 50,000. Is that a lot of money? I mean, does that help? I mean, do you need more? I mean, what we don't have any concept of the Coalition on Homelessness. Here's $50,000. What does that do?
Oh, it's a huge amount of money for us.
Okay.
And it is our biggest fundraiser, as Greg said. And what it does, I mean, the mission of the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness is to end homelessness. So we're working on the big picture of housing people. And we're also working on the immediate needs of people who are struggling with homelessness. Mm-hmm. So we have our resource center where people can come in the day to hook up with whatever services are available and do things like take a shower and a place to receive your mail. So these are things that are huge barriers to people who are experiencing homelessness. We have the winter shelter that meets a crisis need. I have no place to be tonight and it's freezing cold.
Sure.
But none of that ends homelessness. That just helps alleviate the immediate needs of people. The real solution is affordable housing, rental assistance for people who are disabled and are never going to have enough income to afford housing.
Reality,
however affordable it is, you need some rental assistance.
Correct.
And connecting people who have struggled for a long time with homelessness.
But that doesn't necessarily end the issue, does it? The fact, okay, you got a roof over your head. That doesn't necessarily. I mean, there are usually one or two issues that got them to that spot.
Right.
Absolutely.
And just put a
That
roof
need
over
to
your
be
head
dealt with,
does not take away the issues.
For people who are long-term homeless, they
Right.
usually have some kind of trauma in the past. They were, that there's been issues all through their life leading up to this situation. So they need more supportive services to get housed and stay housed.
Physical issues or manifestations with drugs or whatever.
can you talk about the Housing First model and how that approach is different?
Yeah, so the Housing First model has been proven nationwide and in other countries to really work for people who are long-term homeless and have these underlying issues. And that's the idea that you can address underlying issues so much better from the stability of your own home rather than a shelter, which is still a pretty chaotic environment, pretty unstable environment.
And it's not your own space.
Right,
You
right.
can't really grow in that kind of environment if you're going to grow past this.
Absolutely, and so the idea is that that you don't require someone to address any mental health issues or substance use issues before you can be housed. You can be housed, and from that stability, work on those underlying issues. So that's the approach we're taking. We have a small program, Housing First, 14 people we're able to serve with rental assistance so they can afford an apartment and that caseworker support. We're looking to grow that program. We're looking to get other agencies to adopt that method, and we're looking for more long term. Looking for the state to take this on as a primary issue. Let's house everybody who's chronically homeless. Communities have done it. They've succeeded. They've ended chronic homelessness, and I'd like New Hampshire and Concord to be next on that list to be able to say
Now you
we've
came
done
up
that.
legal services.
Yes, I did. in the
Dan, you
past.
were legal services.
Yeah.
So does that give you a different view of the situation than I would have? Because of the lower income people and some of the people you had to deal with in a legal services capacity? Does it give you a glimpse that we don't see?
Well, yeah, right. I mean, for 8 years, over 8 years, I served as a legal aid lawyer representing low-income families, seniors, veterans, including on housing matters. And for 4 years, had the honor of serving as the housing justice project director, working on combating foreclosures, evictions, working to get people housed. And look, I think what Ellen said is absolutely correct. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot that you need to do to really get people. But housing first model is what works. Stabilizing people, then working forward with case management services, dealing with some of the underlying things that may be driving the situation moving forward, and it creates legal issues. And for folks who are low income, those are some of the legal issues that they face. They face legal issues related to housing. They face legal issues related to affordable housing. They face legal issues related to, getting job training and staying in a job, getting the skills they need to move forward. Upper income folks face different legal issues, and it's just, so it has a perspective. I have I think I was fortunate to be able to represent, hundreds of people in those kind of situations, and those stories I remember, those stories I take with me. Those stories are the stories I think about, like just yesterday when we voted to increase funding for homelessness services and case management services in the state Senate.
Yeah.
We did that. Senate Bill 84, Senator Rosenwald's bill, I was a co-sponsor. We voted yesterday on a bill I co-sponsored with Senator Bradley to do, for the first time ever, a consistent, ongoing appropriation to affordable housing fund in New Hampshire. We voted yesterday to another bill I co-sponsored, Senator Guyda's bill, to establish a housing appeals board to actually have access to a meaningful system of justice that's timely when folks are creating affordable housing and they have some disputes. Doesn't change local law, doesn't change local control, but sets up an administrative process that makes more sense, and it could be expedited. So these are all part of a package of reforms at the state level to help people on the ground, the good people on the ground, that are working hard every day, like Ellen and the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. Check out their website, go to their website, contribute to the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness, doing amazing work. And, as Greg said, credit Greg for all the great work he's doing on this and helping with SouperFest and other things. Take a look at SouperFest on the 30th. Show up, contribute. And your money will be well spent on helping the broader cause of ending homelessness, which is something we all share together. And so, check it out. Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. I believe you can contribute online, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, but as Greg and Ellen both alluded to, homelessness is not an issue. Just flip a switch. We're done. It's over.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
There are too many avenues, too many issues that have to be dealt with. You talked about your bill. I assume that was one of the 24 zip bills, votes?
Yeah, no, we had strong. I don't know.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So there was a
votes on all
realization
of
of the issue. That was dealt with.
Yeah.
But then there are other issues that have to be dealt with that take away the... It's kind of an ongoing thing. It's not just, it's done. It's over.
It is.
Okay, let's tackle something else.
And recently, an individual had told me, she said, well, you recently built the emergency winter shelter. Haven't you solved the problem?
Yeah.
And so it's a misunderstanding that is only that's to keep people alive in the winter. It is not, it is not permanent housing for them, and that's the big struggle. I mean, how difficult is it to find housing for these individuals, and how much does funding play in this? I mean, if you had more funds, what would you do with it?
Oh, it's very difficult. The housing market is so tight in Concord. Even for high income or middle income people, it's
looking to buy. Yeah,
exactly.
It's hard.
Yeah.
What's the rent? It was around $1,200-1,300 a month, wasn't it? For a small apartment.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's in that ballpark.
It's up
right.
there.
So what do you have to make? in order to make $1,200 a month, 30% of your income.
Right. Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of our clients are on Social Security disability. They're
Yep.
making $800 a month. So
Fixed
you
income.
you can't even get an apartment, let alone take care of all the rest of your financial needs. So so it is very difficult to find housing, and it's difficult to develop housing right now. It's
Right.
difficult. It's very expensive. So and that's what we're looking into. What's the role we can play in that?
Now, we're going to have to take a break. Let me be the voice of doom here for a minute.
No, don't
No,
do
no,
that.
no,
Don't
no.
do that.
This, I'm injecting something because I'm sure Ellen has thought about this before. Survey after survey, I see many people do not have like $1,000 in their bank account to handle a car issue or something.
Right.
If perchance the stock market, everybody says there's going to be an adjustment, something happens financially, many people are that far away. Do you must think about that, and it's like, oh,
Can I let me read you, this email came to us 2 days ago.
okay.
My boyfriend and I recently became homeless 2 days ago. We're staying in our car. My friend told me to reach out for resources, but I don't know where to start or what to do. As this is our first time in this position, any directions you could point me in, or numbers or places, I just need help.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I mean,
And that's not extreme. That's not an
difference-
extreme situation.
No,
the
It's
no,
like,
difference
all of a
between
sudden
homeless
we're
and non-homeless
Yeah.
can be paper thin.
Yeah.
And that's something that you're dealing with the issue now, but it's not far down the road that maybe it could be more. And that's a scary proposition.
It is, and I will say there's a distinction between people who have been long-term homeless,
Agreed.
who have a lot of usually have a lot of trauma in their past that led to this time, and someone who is going to experience what is hopefully very short-term, one-time event. And the idea is that if you can permanently house the long-term people who are homeless, then the support services are more available for people
the
like
short
you
term,
wrote
to
that
get
email.
them back up on
and
their
the
feet.
shelter's
Yep.
empty. They can come and stay
And
in
that's
it
what I'm
for,
trying to draw-
you know,
yeah,
5
yeah.
days, and then they're back on their feet and on their way. And it is paper thin for people who are living on the edge. And the idea is to free up the resources so that they can be quickly rehoused when that happens. And to do that, you need to put more significant resources towards the people who have these deeper issues and have been homeless for a long time.
We got to take a quick break.
Let's take a quick
We will be
break.
back with more.